Hello and welcome to AI Unlocked with Intel Core Ultra. In this series, we'll interview creatives from across Canada about their artistic process, technology, and what's possible with AI. Emi Choi is a Toronto-based independent singer-songwriter, drawing inspiration from genres such as R&B, pop, and jazz. She has built a community of music lovers by sharing acoustic covers of her favorite songs on YouTube and TikTok with her debut single in 2020. Hey Emi, how are you? Nice to meet you.
I'm great, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And thanks for joining us today.
Of course, I'm happy to be here.
So let's talk a little about your creative process. Can you walk me through, how you build those ideas? How do you start? And what's the process from ideation to bringing something to life?
Yeah, for sure. So I would say that for me, the process isn't always linear. So whenever the inspiration does strike, it's really important for me to be able to capture it in the moment, either in the form of voice memos or a notepad. And I usually start with either an instrumental or a chord progression, and then I write on top of that with a concept in mind. And then from there, it's really about storytelling through the music and the lyrics and trying to paint a picture for the listener.
Wow, sounds like a lot of fun. Also sounds like a bit of a long process, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, it's not always linear. And well, music is, from the time you start to create to the finished product, there's a lot of baking and tweaking that happens. So tell us a little about your editing process. How does it come together for you?
I would say that there's a lot of considerations for a song to be released, from the production, the mixing and mastering, the album art, and the promotion. And I think that one of the challenges is that as a musician, we really focus on the music. So sometimes the album art or the art side, which is just as important, is sometimes kind of an afterthought. So I try to overcome that by thinking about the creative visuals as I'm creating the music. And I also have a mood board that I create for each song, so I can really think about the visual aspect.
You've had an interesting journey, no matter how short or long it's been. What would be the advice that you would be able to give to anybody who wants to be walking your shoes and just do exactly what you're doing?
I think the advice that I would give is, number one, to have fun and to not be afraid to pave your own path, because no one can really copy the essence of who you are as a person. So it's really important to just trust that you have something special and unique that's worth creating and worth sharing with the world, because I know that at least one person is going to resonate with that.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of the different artists that we get to experience around us, because everybody brings their own individuality to the work that they do. So while creating your music, I can imagine that you've been using technology, right? How important would you say technology is in the creation of music, especially when you think about the applications that have to work with this technology because you want them to work efficiently?
So I would say from the music side, the creation, I rely on my digital audio workstation for arranging my music, also recording the vocals and instrumentals, and using plugins to shape the sound that I want. So it's really important for that to run efficiently and for me to be able to really master some of the features on it. The video editing media side, I also use a video editing software, one for my desktop and one for mobile. It's just so that I can edit on the go, and that's typically used for social content.
Right, talking about editing on the go, just get that burst of inspiration and be able to use the technology that you have to bring something to life with that. So let's talk a little about AI, right?
Yeah.
So it's everywhere now. Everybody's interested in it. So tell me a little about, if you've been able to integrate any kind of AI functionalities into your creation process, and how did that go?
In my day-to-day, I work closely with music producers. My peers in the music industry have talked about how they use plugins that use AI. For example, stem separators to help people learn to mix and master their tracks. There's also vocal removers, which is helpful for singers like myself to kind of practice singing on top of an instrumental. ways to generate samples pretty quickly through AI. So there's a lot of different functions that pretty sure I've only just scratched the surface of, what can be done. But yeah, there's a lot to discover.
And what do you think the future of AI in music would be? What's your vision of how this could just change that space?
For me personally, I see AI as kind of a tool in the toolkit for musicians to make their processes more efficient and really save that time. I personally feel like for most people, they still really rely on that human touch and human aspect of music or any art form. That's really what they connect to. So at this time, I don't think that AI would be like a shortcut for manufacturing a song from beginning to end, but rather just used as, again, a tool.
Yeah, I hear you when you say, there's still a person behind the inspiration and behind the tools to bring out the magic, right? Yeah, so it's just working together and just using it to the best of our advantage.
Yeah.
Intel recently launched Intel Core Ultra processors, and these are processors that are designed to help AI really blossom with the applications that you see already that have AI built into them. So I'm just gonna show you what AI on a laptop can do in creating some incredible music.
Sounds great. Let's check it out.
Software like Audacity gives users access to features such as music separation, to split songs into individual instruments like bass vocals and drums, audio generation, which creates new audio when users input a text prompt to describe the kind of sound they'd like to hear. This feature also allows users to take an existing audio track, change the style, and remix it. And finally, the transcription plugin listens to vocals or speech from an audio track and uses that to create a new text track.
Yeah, those sound really interesting, and I can definitely see those integrating into my workflow.
Sounds good. And I look forward to, checking out some interesting things you do with AI in the near future.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Intel Core Ultra is now available at Best Buy. Go get it.